Welcome to eComply and part 1 of the certification training session on Takata Airbag Recall Safety and Shipping in partnership with Rebuilders Automotive Supply. Please be aware that this certification applies only to recalled airbags. The goals and objectives of this course include the Takata Airbag Recall, which makes of vehicles are accepted, handling of the airbag, shipping rules and regulations, how to ship, helpful programs and apps, and key safety tips for management. The Takata Airbag Recall affects 65 to 70 million airbag inflators due to a defect that causes the metal inflator inside the airbag to rupture and explode violently when deployed. As of August 2018, there had been 15 deaths and at least 250 injuries in the U.S. The phase-stabilized ammonium nitrate propellant used in the recalled Takata airbag inflators degrades over time and can cause the inflator to overpressurize during deployment. In some cases, this overpressurization causes the metal canister to rupture, producing shrapnel-like metal shards that can seriously injure or kill vehicle occupants even in low-impact accidents. In June 2017, EPA issued a memo explaining that Takata airbags held under the preservation order have not been discarded and are therefore not solid or hazardous waste under federal regulations. Thus, Takata has collected the recalled airbag inflators from dealers and stored them without being subject to RCRA requirements. Once the preservation order no longer applies to them, these collected Takata airbag inflators must be managed as hazardous waste. The interim final rule promotes a new conditional exemption at 40 CFR 261.4J for airbag waste, provided that the airbag handler sends the airbag waste either to a RCRA designated facility or to an airbag collection facility, and also meets the other conditions of the exemption. Conditions of exemption are modeled after current industry practices and are designed to ensure that the exempted airbag waste is managed safely and is appropriately destroyed and not diverted back into vehicles. The conditions for the airbag waste handler are a maximum of 250 discarded airbag modules or airbag inflators can be stored at the airbag handler's facility. Storage time is limited to 180 days. The airbags must be packaged and shipped in a container designed to address any risk posed by an inflator. The shipping container must be labeled airbag waste, do not reuse, and the handler must maintain shipping records and confirmation of receipt for 3 years. Ordinary business records, such as bills of lading, are sufficient, and electronic records are acceptable. There are some key words and terms that you should become familiar with in order to ensure that everyone is on the same page. Airbag waste refers to hazardous waste, airbag modules, and airbag inflators. An airbag handler is a person or entity that generates airbag waste. For example, a car dealership. An airbag collection facility is a facility that collects and stores airbag waste for more than 10 days and is under the control of a vehicle manufacturer or their authorized representative, or under the control of an authorized party administering a remedy program in response to a DOT recall. A designated facility is a RCRA facility permitted by EPA or the authorized state to accept airbag waste for treatment, disposal, or recycling. 40 CFR 261.4J is the citation for new airbag waste conditional exemption. This optional provision exempts airbag waste from RCRA hazardous waste requirements while at the airbag waste handler and during transportation to airbag waste collection facility or designated facility, provided certain conditions are met. The airbag module is responsible for receiving information from the collision sensor. Found in all vehicles, the airbag module is a computer that stores information. During a collision, the impact data is stored in the airbag module. The airbag inflator contains explosive propellant. It's important to note that every day counts because the chances of Takata airbag inflators to rupture increases over time, especially when exposed to high temperatures and high humidity. Regulation 49 CFR 171 requires specific training material for the preparation and shipping of hazardous materials, specifically airbag modules and seatbelt pretensioners. In part, the regulations state, no person may offer or accept a hazardous material for transportation in commerce unless that person is registered in conformance with the hazmat regulations, if applicable, and the hazardous material is properly classed, described, packaged, marked, labeled, and in condition for shipment as required by requirements of this chapter. Training certification must be documented at least once every 3 years. New employees must be directly supervised by a trained hazardous material employer. Until this training has been completed, which must be within 90 days of employment, change of responsibilities, or a change in the hazardous materials regulations. There are 30 makes and models included in the recall program. Those that are classified as bounty are the automakers who have funded the salvage airbag recovery program. These original equipment manufacturer, or OEMs, provide their entire VIN list to us, which allows us to give the recycler real-time, instant identification based on the VINs. However, Audi, BMW, Dodge, Ferrari, McLaren, Tesla, and Volkswagen are considered non-bounty. These are the automakers who only replace Takata inflators through the dealer channel for vehicles in service or on the road. For the non-bounty makes and models, RAS provides the service of identifying which vehicles could have Takata airbags. Once the vehicle is identified, it is still the responsibility of the recycler to run the actual VIN in safecar.gov to validate. Non-bounty airbags are not pulled to be sent to RAS. In some cases, recyclers will deface the airbag to discourage use. Please complete the test and continue on to Part 2. Remember that this certification applies only to recalled airbags.